Don't know. I don't know. And all of a sudden, we're at the wrap party for Big Brother.
To the after party with my, I guess now ex.
You don't get asked me for a business class flight home.
He shuts it down.
I did not watch it. He straight up asked me if I was happy and I said no.
Am I being delusional? There's definitely something more going on with them two.
To the after party with my, I guess now ex. Hurt and work through them like all relationships do.
JoJo Siwa just walked out of the Big Brother house, but what's exploded since then way messier than reality TV. In just a few weeks, JoJo's gone from reality show sweetheart to public villain or misunderstood soul, depending on who you ask. She's dumped her partner Kath Ebbs, gotten very cozy with her housemate Chris Hughes, and is now doing a press tour that's raising more questions than answers. Was it emotional cheating? Was she manipulated? Is she just young and figuring it all out? Or is this the downfall of the JoJo we thought we knew? And yet, they did pee in a litter box together. You're going to want to hear every unhinged detail of this post-Big Brother chaos. This is Elle. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Celebrity What If. Thank you all so much for your great and kind support.
That was not a plan, that was not an intention, that was not supposed to happen like that. Initially I was told that, the wrap party was something they didn't want to attend. And then about an hour into the wrap party, they decided they wanted to. And so I was genuinely just going to have a conversation before. And then it just led to another. They straight up asked me if I was happy and I said no. And, one thing led to another and that conversation did take place there.
JoJo Siwa just got out of the Big Brother house, and somehow the real drama didn't start until the cameras stopped rolling. Within hours of leaving, she dumped her girlfriend, sparked rumors of a new romance, and left the internet spiraling with everything from emotional cheating allegations to bizarre bathroom confessions. Yes, there's literal footage of her and her housemate Chris Hughes peeing together in a litter box, and that's not even the wildest part. Fans are now split. Some say she's just a 21-year-old figuring herself out under extreme pressure, while others are calling her selfish, manipulative, and careless with people's heart. Was her bond with Chris innocent or something more? Was the breakup overdue or devastatingly cold? And is JoJo undergoing a much-needed transformation, or is this a full-on crash and burn? Buckle up, because what went down behind the scenes is messier than anything that aired on TV.
One of the most common things that people were saying online, especially in the first few episodes of the show, was that it looked like he was being very flirtatious with you, and you were taking that as like you were almost constantly trying to friend zone him in a weird way. Did you experience that? Did you see that? Or did you see it all as playful banter?
I think all playful banter.
Yeah,
I really do. We have a great banter, and it was fairly immediate. It just it's like two peas in a pod. It just
I think
clicks.
it was like the third night. He's like stroking your lower back,
giving me back scratches. Who would pass? I would take back scratches from a stranger off the street. At least we knew each other for 3 days.
So let's talk about how JoJo Siwa ended things with Kath Ebbs, because it wasn't just abrupt, it was brutal. After nearly 3 weeks inside the Big Brother house, JoJo reunited with Kath at the show's wrap party. Kath had flown all the way to the UK to support her, likely thinking they'd reconnect and pick up where they left off. Instead, less than an hour into the party, JoJo ended the relationship. No warning, no buildup, just a sudden public breakup that left Kath blindsided and, in their own words, humiliated. Fans immediately took sides, many arguing that JoJo's actions were cold and completely unnecessary, especially after Kath had been publicly cheering her on from the outside. And what made it worse? The fact that JoJo had been getting extremely close to her housemate Chris Hughes, cuddling, forehead kisses, late night talks, while still in a relationship with Kath. The internet didn't miss a beat, accusing JoJo of emotionally checking out long before she officially ended things. The timing of it all only fueled the outrage. Why do it there? Why do it then? And why, after everything, is she now appearing in interviews and Instagram photos looking cozy with Chris? Let's get into the relationship that lit this whole thing on fire. JoJo and Chris Hughes. Inside the Big Brother house, their bond escalated fast, from innocent banter to cuddles, forehead kisses, and a level of closeness that had viewers asking, wait, isn't she in a relationship? JoJo insists it was all platonic, a deep soulmate level friendship that just looked more intense than it really was. Chris echoed that in interviews, calling their connection soulmate energy without crossing a line, but the internet wasn't buying it.
I was told that there are confused feelings there, do with that what you will, and that they had realized in the house that I wasn't the person that they wanted to spend the foreseeable future with. Which has honestly been, as you can probably tell by my demeanor, so shocking that I feel kind of subhuman right now. Yeah, and I feel incredibly humiliated, and I feel a bit embarrassed. I feel like the internet might have warned me a little bit, and I guess didn't listen, but I also just followed my heart, and I love really big, and I love really intensely, and I believed promises, and I believed gestures and words and acts of intense intimacy.
Fans dug up live stream clips, shared screenshots, and tweeted receipts showing JoJo clearly reciprocating the affection. It wasn't just Chris making a move, JoJo was in it too. And even if it wasn't romantic, people are arguing that it was still a betrayal. Emotional cheating, boundary crossing, whatever you want to call it. Kath was watching all of this unfold from the outside and it looked bad, really bad. JoJo says she was biting her tongue for the last 48 hours in the house because she didn't want to break up on camera. But for viewers, the damage was already done. Whether or not anything physical happened, the emotional intimacy was enough to spark outrage and trigger some serious doubts about where JoJo's heart really was.
Is it cheating if they have a friend at work and they call them their work wife or work husband?
Not cheating, but your partner's a loser. Yeah, embarrassing. Embarrassing, cringe, find it.
Once JoJo got out of the house and the full picture started to form, the internet flipped. Suddenly, the bubbly pop star who built her brand on glitter and girl power was being dragged for emotional manipulation and public humiliation. Kath didn't stay quiet either, posting cryptic TikToks, resharing videos, and dropping enough receipts to make it clear they felt betrayed. One especially brutal repost featured an interview JoJo did hours before entering the Big Brother house where she gushed about her love for Kath. The caption? This didn't age well. Even JoJo's ex Avery jumped into the conversation, reposting Kath's content and amplifying the backlash. Fans flooded social media with their takes, some saying JoJo was careless, others accusing Chris of manipulating her on camera. One viral TikTok didn't hold back, claiming viewers had just watched a 21-year-old girl get emotionally toyed with by a 32-year-old man who pretended to be her safe space. The mood online was shifting hard, and the once sympathetic lens on JoJo started to crack. This wasn't just a breakup, it was a PR nightmare unfolding in real time, and every repost, every old interview clip, every passive-aggressive TikTok was making it worse.
Having that actual realization, laying there and being like, damn, like what
You've got to do something.
I've got to do
as soon as you
something
get out.
that as soon as I get out that I really like, I'm not looking forward to, but
Sorry, in terms of that, was it difficult to bite your tongue? Because I feel like
super, because you need to talk your feelings as a human.
Were you really aware of the cameras when you're in there? Like
I was, and you forget, and you think a lot. Oh, this won't make it. But I did want to protect something with my life and make sure that it wasn't more than it needed to be, and so that's why I was like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just 48 hours.
Is it fair to say then that you were trying your best in that environment to protect or kind of manage someone's feelings in the outside world the best that you could?
Exactly.
In there.
Exactly.
That now makes sense,
Yeah.
the 48 hours thing.
Yeah, and I needed to handle something, but I did not want to handle it there. You know what I mean? And so that was like, just give me a beat.
But underneath all the drama, there's something else going on with JoJo Siwa. Something messier, more personal, and maybe even a little bit raw. Inside the Big Brother house, without her phone, her team, or her usual routine, JoJo says she finally had the space to think. And what came out of that silence? A whole wave of realizations about her identity, her relationship, and her career. One of the biggest bombshells, JoJo shared that she no longer identifies as a lesbian, but as queer. It was a small moment in an interview, but it sparked major conversations about self-discovery, labels, and the fluidity of identity. She also revealed that she had been reevaluating everything, not just her relationship with Kath, but her entire life path. According to JoJo, she realized what she needed to do to make her life as great as it can be. And that meant making uncomfortable changes, fast. Critics saw it as selfish, supporters saw it as necessary. Even her team was caught off guard. JoJo admitted that after just 18 days in the house, she came out with new career plans that made her mom and her team say, "Wait, are you sure?" And she was. So was this a chaotic spiral or the start of JoJo finally taking control of her life? That's the question dividing everyone right now.
I will take accountability for the fact that the internet, oddly enough, did warn me, and I had my own instincts, but I chose to believe in what I thought was, I don't know, the kindness and the connection I experienced on my own level, like in my own life, and I wanted to honor that and believe that because it felt so true. I guess, like, in an odd way, like, I don't know if you can, I haven't processed it enough to, if you'd want to call it love bombing or whatever, but it seems to me I have experienced a version of that, being told that I'm the love of someone's life, being asked to marry them before this social experiment, being adored throughout behind closed doors, being hurt by what I saw but wanting to work through it and have a conversation and get clarity and, you know.
If you thought the drama ended with the breakup, think again, because JoJo's podcast appearances have only thrown more fuel on the fire. On the Useless Hotline podcast, JoJo addressed the elephant in the room. Was Chris flirting with her, and was she flirting back? Early on in the show, it looked like Chris might have been the one making subtle moves, while JoJo played it cool. But as time went on, viewers noticed JoJo leaning in, literally and emotionally. Clips started circulating of the two looking way too cozy for a platonic friendship, and fans weren't having it, but JoJo brushed it all off as playful banter, saying nothing ever crossed the line. And then there was the moment that had everyone doing a double take. JoJo wrote something secret on Chris's hand during the show. Fans speculated it was a hidden love confession, something intense and private. JoJo claims she doesn't even remember what she wrote, just that it definitely wasn't "I love you." Still, the mystery only deepened.
First of all, I would say I have the most amazing, beautiful partner. They are an incredible human being who I don't know how I snagged them at all. Don't know. You know, say one day we have kids together. I want my kids to know my partner's family, and my partner wants their kids to know my family. You know what I mean? And so we're in a beautiful, beautiful place where they like America, I like Australia. We're down.
So you are in love.
Super.
As JoJo continued defending her bond with Chris, a new wave of backlash started brewing, one that didn't just criticize her, but pointed the finger squarely at Chris Hughes. A growing chorus online began asking if JoJo had been manipulated. The age gap, JoJo at 21, Chris at 32, suddenly didn't feel so harmful. TikTok started going viral with captions like, "POV, you're watching a 21-year-old girl get manipulated by a 32-year-old man who pretended to be her safe space, then discarded her when she didn't reciprocate." That clip, specifically reposted by Kath, hit a nerve and made the subtext feel a lot more sinister. People began questioning Chris's intentions. Was he emotionally grooming her for the sake of the game? Was he exploiting JoJo's vulnerability in a high-pressure environment to create a storyline that would benefit him outside the house? Some fans believe Chris was simply playing Big Brother, getting close to the biggest star in the house, knowing it would boost his visibility. But now that they're both out, people are wondering, will he still stick around, or will JoJo realize that she was a pawn in someone else's strategy? The fear is that she'll look back on this entire situation and feel like she was used, personally and publicly. Because if this so-called soulmate friendship fizzles now that the cameras are off, the regret might hit harder than any breakup. So where does JoJo Siwa go from here? Is she stepping into a new, more authentic version of herself, or waking up from a PR nightmare with no idea how bad the damage really is? Because if Chris fades from her life and Kath never forgives her, JoJo could find herself standing in the fallout of choices she made in less than 3 weeks, under 24/7 surveillance with a nation watching. Some say this was her Miley moment, a break from the squeaky clean brand, a chaotic coming of age. Others say she torched her relationship, her reputation, and possibly her fan base in one impulsive move. Now it's your turn to weigh in. Is JoJo just young and figuring herself out, or did she cross a line that can't be walked back? Was this growth or just recklessness dressed up as self-discovery? If you were Kath, would you ever forgive her? And do you think Chris was a genuine friend or just another player in the game? Sound off, because this story isn't over, and the internet will be watching what happens next.